Maya was 19, a college sophomore. The $47,000 cashier's check was her grandmother's inheritance, legal, verified, real. The woman behind Maya whispered to her Instagram live stream, "Y'all seeing this discrimination?" 347 viewers and climbing. Maya's black leather portfolio sat on the counter. Gold initials, MRJ, a platinum card showed through her wallet. Wells saw none of it. 2:47 p.m. Bank closed at 3:35 p.m. Maya needed this deposit today for Monday tuition. Have you ever been humiliated so publicly that strangers treated you like a criminal, not knowing they'd just picked a fight with the wrong family? Patricia Wells crossed her arms and raised her voice. "I've worked here 15 years. I know suspicious activity when I see it." Maya kept her voice calm. "The check cleared your system verification. What's the real problem?" "Don't get smart with me, young lady." Wells turned to the growing crowd. "See what I have to deal with?" 3 customers behind Maya pulled out phones. The original live stream viewer count jumped to 1,247. Comments flooded in. #banking while black. Wells pointed at Maya while addressing the room. "Girls like you show up with these amounts, no appointment, expecting special treatment." The teller at window 2 whispered to her colleague. Security guard Marcus shifted uncomfortably near the entrance. He'd seen this before. It never ended well for anyone. Maya opened her black portfolio and pulled out 3 forms of ID, driver's license, passport, student card from Northwestern University. "Satisfied?" Maya asked. Wells barely glanced at them. "Anyone can fake documents these days." The digital clock above the teller windows glowed red, 2:52 p.m. "The bank closes in exactly 43 minutes, Wells announced. "After that, you'll have to wait until Monday." Maya's phone buzzed. Northwestern's automated reminder. "Tuition payment due Monday 8 a.m. Late fees apply after deadline." She needed this deposit today. Assistant manager Derek emerged from his cubicle. Mid-40s, thinning hair, cheap suit. He'd heard the commotion. "What seems to be the problem, Patricia?" Wells gestured dramatically. "Suspicious deposit, large amount. No banking history at this branch." Derek studied Maya with the same skeptical expression. "Do you have an account with us, miss?" "Premier National has been my family's bank for 12 years, Maya replied. "Different branch." "Which branch?" Derek pressed. "Lincoln Park." Derek and Wells exchanged glances. Lincoln Park served Chicago's wealthy North Side. Old money, new money. People who didn't usually visit downtown branches. "Then why not go there?" Wells demanded. Maya gestured toward Michigan Avenue. "I'm staying downtown. My grandmother's funeral was this morning." "Convenient story," Wells muttered. The Instagram live comments exploded. Viewer count hit 3,400. Someone had tagged at Premier National Bank's official account, at Real Talk, Chi. "This is straight discrimination, at Justice." Now, record everything, at Mom of 3. "I'm calling corporate." Maya's Platinum American Express caught the overhead lights. The card bore her name, Maya R. Johnson. Wells noticed but dismissed it. "Credit cards are easy to steal," she said. Marcus, the security guard, stepped closer. 6'2", former military, 10 years with Premier National. He'd watched this scene play out dozens of times. Different customers, same script. "Ma'am," he addressed Maya quietly. "Perhaps we could resolve this calmly." Wells shot him a warning look. "Marcus, I've got this handled." But Maya noticed something in Marcus's eyes. Respect. Recognition. Like he knew something Wells didn't. The live stream captured everything. Multiple angles now. The original streamer had gained 2,000 new followers in 10 minutes. Banking while black was trending locally. A young man in the corner started his own stream on TikTok. "Y'all, this bank is wilding right now." Derek pulled Wells aside, whispered conversation, frequent glances at Maya. Maya checked her phone. 2:58 p.m., 37 minutes until closing. The cashier's check lay crumpled on the counter where Wells had dropped it. $47,000 from grandmother Eleanor Johnson's estate. Perfectly legal. Properly processed through Sterling Trust Company that morning. Maya straightened the check and placed it back on the counter. "I'll wait," she said simply. Wells returned from her huddle with Derek. Both looked more determined now. "Miss, I'm going to need you to step aside. You're disrupting other customers." The lobby had grown quiet, every eye focused on the standoff. Phones recording from multiple angles. The afternoon deposit rush had become an audience. Maya looked around the marble lobby. Premier National's logo gleamed from every surface, gold letters on black stone. Serving Chicago's families since 1892. Her family had banked here for over a decade. Her father's company had accounts worth millions spread across Premier National's commercial division, corporate credit lines, investment portfolios, business loans. None of that showed on her student account at the Lincoln Park branch. 2:59 p.m. 36 minutes, Maya said quietly. 3:02 p.m., 33 minutes until closing. Branch manager Linda Torres emerged from her corner office. Navy suit, silver hair, 23 years with Premier National. She'd built her career on avoiding problems. This was becoming a problem. "What's the situation?" Torres asked Derek quietly. "Suspicious deposit, large amount. Customers being difficult." Torres studied Maya. Young black woman, casual clothes, expensive accessories. The combination triggered every bias training warning she'd ignored for years. The live streams were multiplying. Instagram Live, 5,200 viewers. TikTok, 1,800. Facebook Live, 900. Someone had started a Twitter thread documenting the entire incident. @She writes. Thread, Premier National Bank discriminating against black student. 112, corporate's social media team would notice soon. Torres needed this resolved before it reached regional management. "Miss Johnson," Torres said, reading Maya's name from the crumpled check. "I understand there's been some confusion." "No confusion," Maya replied. "I have a valid check. Your employee called it stolen." Torres glanced at the check. Sterling Trust Company. Legitimate bank. The routing numbers checked out on their system, but the amount was substantial for someone Maya's age. "Patricia, walk me through your concerns," Torres said. Wells straightened, emboldened by management support. "Young woman, no banking relationship here, 47,000 in cash equivalents, classic money laundering profile." Maya's phone buzzed, text message visible on her lock screen. "Board meeting moved to 4 p.m. Dad." She dismissed it quickly, but Torres caught a glimpse. Dad was saved in Maya's contacts with a corporate photo. Man in expensive suit, corner office background. "Where did this money come from?" Torres pressed. "My grandmother's estate. She passed Tuesday." "Can you prove that?" Maya opened her portfolio again. Funeral program from that morning. Eleanor Johnson Memorial Service. Dignified photo of an elderly black woman in pearls. Torres examined the program. Mount Olive Baptist Church, Chicago's historic South Side. The kind of church where old families gathered. Families with money. But Torres saw what she expected to see. Young black woman. Probably lying about inheritance, definitely trying to deposit suspicious funds. 3:07 p.m., 28 minutes. The original Instagram live stream hit 8,300 viewers. Comments poured in faster than the streamer could read them. @banking rights. Call corporate now, 1-800-555-0199. @local news, 4. DM us details for story consideration. @legal aid. Chi. Document everything for civil rights complaint. A customer near the back of the line called the corporate number. Put it on speaker. Premier National Customer Service, this is Jennifer. How can I help you? I'm witnessing racial discrimination at your downtown Chicago branch right now. The entire lobby heard Jennifer's response. I'll connect you to our complaint department immediately. Torres felt her stomach drop. Corporate complaints triggered automatic investigations, regional management involvement, potential federal review if discrimination was proven. She needed damage control. Now. Miss Johnson, let's resolve this privately in my office. No, Maya said firmly. Handle this publicly, like you started it. The crowd murmured approval. Someone started slow clapping. The gesture spread through the lobby. Derek stepped forward, trying to assert authority. Ma'am, you need to cooperate, or we'll have to ask you to leave. Maya didn't move. On what legal grounds? Disruptive behavior. I'm standing quietly. Your staff created the disruption. Marcus, the security guard, remained near the entrance. His radio crackled. Unit 47 status check. All clear, Marcus replied. But his body language said otherwise. Relaxed posture. Hands at his sides, not ready for confrontation. Other security guards would have moved closer by now. Marcus stayed back, watching Maya with something approaching recognition. 3:12 p.m. 23 minutes until closing. A new player entered the game. Customer at teller window 3 finished her transaction and approached the crowd. Excuse me, she said to Maya. Are you Maya Johnson? Every phone camera swiveled toward them. Maya hesitated. I'm Sarah Chen, Northwestern journalism student. I covered your father's company donation to the university hospital last month. The lobby fell silent. Even Wells stopped fidgeting. Sarah pulled out her student press card. Your family's the Johnsons behind the pediatric wing expansion, right? Maya's expression remained neutral. I don't discuss my family in public. But the damage was done. Sarah had said it loud enough for the microphones to catch. The live stream comments exploded with questions about her father and family business. Torres felt the situation shifting. If this girl was connected to major university donors, the discrimination angle became exponentially more dangerous. Wells, oblivious to the undercurrents, doubled down. I don't care who her family is. Rules are rules. Torres shot her a warning look. Too late. @Chi Tribune Tips account joined the Instagram live stream. News organizations were monitoring now. Maya checked her phone again. Another text from Dad. How's the bank visit going? She typed back. Interesting. 3:15 p.m. 20 minutes until closing. Torres made a decision. This needed to end before it got worse. Miss Johnson, I apologize for any inconvenience. Let's process your deposit. Wells looked stunned. Linda, we haven't verified. Patricia, step back. But Maya held up her hand. No. The word cut through the lobby noise like a blade. I want to understand your verification process. Explain exactly why my check required special scrutiny. Torres fumbled for words. There was no policy, no procedure, just assumptions based on Maya's appearance and age. We have protocols for large deposits. Show me the protocol. Silence. Maya's phone buzzed again. This time she answered. Hi, this is Maya. Her voice carried across the lobby. Calm. Controlled. But something had changed in her tone. Yes, I'm at the downtown branch. Pause. We have a situation. Every camera focused on her face. The live stream viewer count passed 12,000 across all platforms. Maya ended the call and looked directly at Torres. You have 30 seconds to decide how this ends. 3:16 p.m. 19 minutes until closing. Torres stared at Maya, trying to read the shift in power dynamics. The young woman's posture had changed, straighter, more authoritative. 30 seconds for what? Torres asked. Maya didn't answer immediately. She scrolled through her phone contacts, past dozens of names, stopped at one marked with a star. The silence stretched across the lobby. 12,000 viewers held their breath. Wells, growing impatient, stepped forward. This is ridiculous. Security, escort her out. Marcus didn't move. Marcus, Wells snapped. I said escort her out. The security guard met Maya's eyes. Something passed between them. Recognition. Understanding. Ma'am, Marcus said quietly to Wells, maybe we should wait. Wait for what? Torres's phone rang. She glanced at the screen. Corporate, regional director. Her face went pale. I need to take this, she whispered, backing toward her office. Take it here, Maya said firmly. Speakerphone. I can't do that. Bank privacy policies. Answer it here or I make another call. The live stream comments exploded with speculation. Who was Maya calling? What leverage did she have? Torres answered on speaker, her hand shaking slightly. Linda, this is Michael Harrison, regional director. What's happening at your branch? The lobby fell dead silent. Even the live stream viewers stopped commenting. Sir, we have a customer service situation. I'm getting reports of discrimination, social media posts, news inquiries. This better be handled. We're working on it. Linda, is the customer still there? Torres looked at Maya, panic creeping into her voice. Yes, sir. Put her on. Wells looked confused. Derek stepped back instinctively. Marcus remained motionless near the door. Maya took the phone with practiced confidence. Mr. Harrison, this is Maya Johnson. Pause on the other end. Long pause. Maya Johnson? Yes, sir. Are you Robert Johnson's daughter? The lobby erupted. Gasps, murmurs, phone cameras zooming in on Maya's face. I am. Harrison's voice turned formal, careful. Maya, I'm terribly sorry for any inconvenience. Your father and I golf together monthly. I had no idea you were... Maya cut him off. Mr. Harrison, I need you to explain something to your staff. Of course. Anything. Torres grabbed the phone back, confusion written across her face. Mike, who is Robert Johnson? The pause that followed lasted forever. Linda, Robert Johnson is CEO of First Continental Holdings. Another pause. Then the crushing realization. First Continental Holdings owns 73% of Premier National Bank. Wells dropped into a chair. Derek's mouth fell open. The live stream viewers went insane with comments, questions, theories. Maya took the phone again. Mr. Harrison, I've been accused of money laundering, document forgery, and theft in front of 12,000 people on social media. 12,000? The footage is already viral. Hashtag banking while black is trending nationally. Harrison's voice cracked. Maya, what can we do to make this right? I'll handle it from here. She ended the call. Complete silence in the lobby. The kind of silence that comes before earthquakes. Torres found her voice first. Miss Johnson, I had no idea. Idea of what? That black people can inherit money? That young women can have wealthy families? Or that you should treat all customers with basic respect? Wells stood up slowly, reality finally sinking in. I was just following protocol. Show me the protocol that says black students are automatically suspicious. Silence. Maya opened her black leather portfolio and pulled out a business card. Premium cardstock, raised gold letters. Maya R. Johnson. First Continental Holdings, Special Projects Coordinator. She placed it on the counter next to her crumpled deposit slip. I work for my father's company, Part-time while finishing my Northwestern MBA program. Special projects include banking compliance audits. Torres felt the blood drain from her face. This branch was actually scheduled for a standard compliance review next month, Maya continued. But I decided to conduct an impromptu assessment today. Derek finally found his voice. You mean, this was all a test? No, I genuinely needed to deposit my grandmother's inheritance check, but your employee's behavior turned it into something else entirely. Maya gestured to the phones recording around the lobby. 12,000 witnesses to systematic discrimination. Federal civil rights violations caught on live video. Corporate liability exposure in the millions. She pulled out a second business card from her portfolio. Sarah Chen, Northwestern Law Review Civil Rights Division. The journalism student who'd recognized Maya earlier stepped forward with a smile. I'm actually a law student, Sarah said. Maya asked me to witness this interaction for her compliance report. The final piece clicked into place. Maya had planned for documentation all along. Wells slumped back into her chair. This was a setup. No, Maya said firmly. This was your choice. Every word, every action, every assumption. You did this to yourselves. She turned to address the entire lobby, the cameras, the thousands watching online. I have privilege. My family has money. I could have pulled out my father's business card immediately and ended this discrimination. Pause. But what about the next young black woman who walks in here? The one without connections? The one who can't make one phone call and change everything? The live stream comments shifted. Understanding dawned across thousands of viewers. That's why I let this play out. So you could see exactly how your employees treat people they think are powerless. Maya looked directly at Torres. Now you have a choice. Change the system that created this moment, or watch your careers end on social media. 3:23 p.m. 12 minutes until closing. Maya's phone buzzed. Text from Dad. Board meeting starting. Should I delay for your situation? She typed back. No need. I've got this. Torres stepped forward desperately. Maya, please. How do we fix this? Maya picked up her grandmother's inheritance check, smoothed out the wrinkles Wells had created. That depends on how serious you are about change. The lobby held its breath. 12,000 viewers waited for her next words. Because I'm not just Robert Johnson's daughter. Another pause. I'm also Eleanor Johnson's granddaughter. And she taught me that real power isn't about who you know. Maya looked around the room, making eye contact with every camera, every witness. It's about what you do when you think nobody's watching. 3:24 p.m. 11 minutes until closing. Maya pulled out her tablet and opened a presentation. Corporate logo filled the screen. First Continental Holdings. Let's talk numbers, she said, her voice carrying the authority of a boardroom. She swiped to the first slide. Financial data in clean charts and graphs. Premier National Bank. Annual revenue, $47.2 billion. Net profit margin, 18.6%. My father's company owns 73% controlling interest. Torres felt sick. Wells had gone completely silent. Maya advanced to the next slide. Legal citations filled the screen. Federal Fair Housing Act, Section 3605. Equal Credit Opportunity Act, Regulation B Civil Rights Act of 1964, Title II. All violated in the past 27 minutes. She turned the tablet toward the cameras, ensuring live stream viewers could read the legal text. Discriminatory lending practices. Racial profiling in banking services. Public humiliation based on protected characteristics. Derek tried to interrupt. Maya, we can discuss this privately. No. Her voice cut through his attempt. Privacy enables discrimination. Transparency prevents it. Maya swiped again. A new slide appeared. Compliance Audit Template. Section 4A, Customer Service Equality Assessment. Today's date, Downtown Chicago branch. Evaluation criteria. Initial customer contact. Verification procedures. Escalation protocols. She looked directly at Torres. Your staff failed every single metric. The live stream had grown to 15,000 viewers across all platforms. Banking while black was trending nationally. News organizations were requesting interviews. Maya's phone rang. She glanced at the screen. Dad? Excuse me, she said to the lobby. She answered on speaker. Hi, Dad. Maya, Michael Harrison just called me in a panic. He says you're conducting some kind of audit? Robert Johnson's voice filled the marble lobby. Deep, authoritative, unmistakably powerful. Impromptu assessment, yes. We have a significant discrimination issue here. Are you safe? Physically? Yes. Professionally outraged? Absolutely. A chuckle from the phone. That's my daughter. What do you need? Maya looked around the lobby. Employees terrified. Customers recording. Thousands watching online. Immediate policy changes, corporate oversight, and accountability measures. Consider it done. Linda Torres there. Torres stepped forward shakily. Yes, Mr. Johnson, this is Linda. Linda, my daughter is going to give you a list of requirements. You'll implement them within 48 hours. Understood? Yes, sir. Good. Maya, I'm proud of you for handling this professionally. Maya smiled for the first time all day. Learn from the best. See you at dinner Sunday. Love you. Love you too, Dad. She ended the call and returned to business mode. Here's what's going to happen, Maya announced to the room and the cameras. She pulled up a new document on her tablet. Detailed reform plan, clearly prepared in advance. The Maya Protocol, named after today's incident. 5 immediate changes. Torres grabbed a pen, ready to take notes like her career depended on it, which it did. First, mandatory bias training for all customer-facing staff within 30 days, not online modules, in-person workshops led by civil rights organizations. She advanced to the next point. Second, external complaint system, independent oversight board with community representatives, no internal review of discrimination claims. Wells finally spoke up, desperately. Maya, this seems excessive for one misunderstanding. Maya's stare silenced her. Patricia, you called my money probably stolen and tore up my deposit slip in front of witnesses. That's not a misunderstanding. That's racial profiling. Back to the protocol. Third, demographic tracking of all customer service interactions. Monthly reporting to corporate on complaint patterns, resolution times, and staff performance by customer demographics. Torres scribbled frantically. Fourth, Community Advisory Board, local leaders, civil rights advocates, customer representatives, quarterly meetings to review policies and procedures. Maya swiped to the final point. Fifth, financial accountability. $100,000 donation to local financial literacy programs. Public apology on all corporate social media platforms. Quarterly progress reports published online. The live stream comments exploded with approval. Viewers sharing the stream, tagging friends, calling the changes revolutionary. These aren't suggestions, Maya clarified. They're requirements. Legally binding through our corporate compliance division. She pulled out official letterhead from her portfolio. First Continental Holdings logo at the top. I'm filing this as an official compliance report. Copy to the Federal Reserve, Office of the Comptroller, and Department of Justice Civil Rights Division. Torres felt her knees weaken. Federal oversight meant career death for discrimination violations. Maya, please. What about second chances? Employee counseling instead of... Patricia Wells keeps her job on 3 conditions, Maya interrupted, looking directly at the camera. Mandatory counseling with a licensed bias specialist, completion of a civil rights certification program, and 1 year of supervised probation with monthly performance reviews. She turned to Derek. You backed up discriminatory behavior. Same requirements. Derek nodded frantically. Maya addressed Torres directly. You, as branch manager, failed to prevent this situation and initially supported the discrimination. You'll oversee implementation of the Maya protocol and report progress directly to me. Yes, absolutely. Maya checked the time on her tablet. 3:31 p.m., 4 minutes until closing. One more thing. She gestured to Marcus, the security guard who had remained respectfully distant throughout the confrontation. Marcus here recognized that something was wrong from the beginning. His professionalism and restraint prevented this situation from escalating to physical confrontation. Marcus looked surprised. Marcus gets a commendation letter in his personnel file and enrollment in Premier National's management training program, if he wants it. Marcus smiled for the first time. I'd be honored, ma'am. Maya turned back to her crumpled deposit slip and inheritance check. Now, let's finish what I came here to do. She placed both documents on the counter. I'd like to make a deposit, please. Torres personally processed the transaction, hands shaking slightly but professional, respectful. $47,000 deposited successfully, Miss Johnson. Thank you for your business. 3:34 p.m., 1 minute until closing. Maya packed her tablet and portfolio. Business cards returned to their proper slots. Phone back in her jacket pocket. The live stream viewers began signing off, but not before sharing final messages of support. #banking. While Black had generated over 2 million interactions in less than an hour, Maya addressed the cameras one last time. Change doesn't happen through anger or confrontation. It happens through accountability and systematic reform. She paused. My grandmother Eleanor Johnson taught me that dignity isn't something you demand. It's something you demonstrate. Maya looked around the lobby one final time. Today, we demonstrated what happens when discrimination meets accountability. She walked toward the exit. Marcus held the door open with genuine respect. Thank you, Miss Johnson. Thank you, Marcus. See you at management training. 3:35 p.m. Premier National Bank's downtown branch officially closed. But the conversation Maya had started was just beginning. 1 week later, Premier National Bank's downtown branch looked different. Not physically, but atmospherically. The tension had lifted. A small placard by the entrance read, Maya Protocol Implementation Site, Community Partnership Program. Patricia Wells sat in a conference room across from Dr. Angela Washington, a licensed bias specialist with 30 years of experience. This was session 3 of 12. Patricia, let's talk about assumptions, Dr. Washington said gently. Wells shifted uncomfortably. I thought I was protecting the bank. From what? From fraud. Money laundering. Based on what evidence? Silence. A young black woman with expensive accessories and a large check. That was your evidence. Wells stared at her hands. When you put it like that, that's exactly how the Federal Review Board will put it. The Department of Justice doesn't deal in assumptions. Derek sat in the adjacent room with his own counselor. Same conversation. Same uncomfortable realizations. 2 weeks later, Linda Torres stood before the new Community Advisory Board. 12 local leaders around a conference table. Maya sat at the far end, taking notes. Demographic complaint analysis, week 2, Torres reported. She clicked through a PowerPoint presentation. Customer service interactions, 847 total. Discrimination complaints, 0. Customer satisfaction scores, up 34% from baseline. Board member Reverend James Mitchell nodded approvingly. Staff attitudes? Marked improvement. The bias training sessions are having measurable impact. Maya raised her hand. What about the external complaint system? Torres clicked to the next slide. Website launched Monday. Independent hotline operational. 3-person review board trained and certified. Complaints received? 2. Both resolved within 48 hours. Full documentation provided to complainants. Dr. Sarah Chen, now serving as the board's legal observer, made notes. Transparency protocols working as designed. 1 month later, Marcus Williams wore a new uniform. Management trainee badge instead of security guard. He led a group of 20 new employees through customer service orientation. Respect isn't earned by a customer's bank balance, Marcus explained to the trainees. It's given because they're human beings. A young trainee raised her hand. What if someone seems suspicious? Define suspicious. Large cash deposit, no appointment, expensive clothes. Marcus shook his head. Those aren't suspicious behaviors. Those are normal banking activities. He clicked to a video clip from the Maya incident. Her calm demeanor threw out the discrimination. This young woman was treated as a criminal for depositing her grandmother's inheritance. What made her suspicious was the color of her skin and her age. The room fell quiet. That's why we're here, to ensure this never happens again. 6 weeks later, Maya's compliance report landed on desks across Washington, D.C. Federal Reserve Board, Community Reinvestment Act Division, Department of Justice, Civil Rights Division Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, Fair Lending Section. The executive summary was damning and hopeful in equal measure. Premier National Bank Downtown Branch demonstrated systemic discriminatory practices consistent with nationwide banking industry patterns. However, rapid implementation of corrective measures and sustained community engagement suggest potential for meaningful reform. The report included specific metrics. Complaint reduction, 94% decrease in discrimination reports. Customer satisfaction, 41% improvement across all demographics. Staff performance, 100% completion of bias training requirements. Community engagement, 12 advisory board meetings, 847 community feedback responses. Financial accountability, $100,000 donated to Chicago Financial Literacy Coalition. Maya had turned one discriminatory incident into a federal case study for banking reform. 2 months later, Premier National's corporate headquarters issued a press release. Maya Protocol expands nationwide. Following successful implementation at our Chicago downtown branch, Premier National Bank announces the rollout of comprehensive bias prevention measures across all 847 locations nationwide. The press release included a quote from CEO Robert Johnson. My daughter Maya taught our entire organization that true leadership means confronting uncomfortable truths and implementing systematic solutions. The Maya Protocol isn't just good business practice, it's the right thing to do. Wells completed her counseling program. She kept her job, as promised, but with a fundamentally changed perspective. Derek finished his certification course and became a vocal advocate for the new protocols. Torres received a promotion to Regional Diversity and Inclusion Director, overseeing Maya Protocol implementation across Illinois. Marcus graduated from management training and was promoted to Assistant Branch Manager. 3 months later, Maya received an email from a stranger. Dear Ms. Johnson, I saw your story online 3 months ago. Last week, I walked into a Premier National branch in Atlanta to open my first business account. Young black entrepreneur just like you described. The difference was incredible. Respectful service. No suspicious looks. No extra verification. Just professional banking. Thank you for what you did. You changed more than one bank branch. You changed the industry. Respectfully, Keisha Williams, CEO, Atlanta Small Business Solutions. Maya forwarded the email to her father with a note. Grandmother Eleanor would be proud. His response came immediately. She already knew you'd change the world. We just had to wait for the world to catch up. The viral video from that day had been viewed 2.3 million times. #banking. While Black became a hashtag for systemic change rather than just complaints. Maya's inheritance deposit of $47,000 had generated millions of dollars in policy changes, training programs, and community investments across the banking industry. But the real victory wasn't measured in dollars. It was measured in dignity restored, systems reformed, and the next young black woman who would walk into a bank and be treated with the respect she deserved from the very first moment. 1 year later, Maya Johnson stood at the podium of Northwestern University's Kellogg School of Management, guest speaker for the Business Ethics and Social Responsibility course. The auditorium was packed. Students, faculty, and banking industry professionals had come to hear her story. "A year ago, I walked into a bank to deposit my grandmother's inheritance," Maya began. "I left with a blueprint for systemic change." She clicked to her first slide, the viral video thumbnail, Patricia Wells tearing her deposit slip, the moment that sparked everything. This image has been viewed 3.7 million times, but the real story isn't what you see in those 27 minutes. It's what happened in the 365 days that followed. The next slide showed statistics. Industry-wide impact: 127 banks adopted bias prevention protocols, $2.3 million invested in financial literacy programs, 89% reduction in discrimination complaints across participating institutions, federal legislation introduced requiring bias training for all financial service employees. Change doesn't happen overnight. It happens through sustained accountability and systematic reform. Maya advanced to a photo of the downtown Premier National branch. New signage, diverse staff, community partnership awards displayed in the windows. The branch where I was discriminated against now serves as a national model for inclusive banking. Patricia Wells, the employee who called my money probably stolen, completed her bias counseling and became one of the program's strongest advocates. She paused, letting that sink in. Redemption is possible when people are held accountable and given tools to change. The final slide appeared. A quote from her grandmother, Eleanor. "True power isn't about punishing those who wrong you. It's about preventing them from wronging the next person." "My grandmother left me more than $47,000, Maya concluded. "She left me the understanding that privilege comes with responsibility." The broader movement. Maya's story had inspired similar actions nationwide. The hashtag Banking While Black hashtag evolved into a resource network. People shared experiences, documented discrimination, and connected with legal resources. Corporate response was swift and meaningful. Beyond banking, retail stores, restaurants, and service industries began implementing similar protocols. The Maya Protocol became a template, not just for Premier National, but for any organization serious about preventing discrimination. Harvard Business School case study. The Johnson Method, transforming discrimination into systematic reform. The case study was required reading in MBA programs across the country. Maya's approach, documentation, escalation through proper channels, and focus on systematic change rather than individual punishment, became a model for corporate accountability. Students learned that real change required more than viral moments. It demanded sustained pressure, measurable outcomes, and institutional commitment. Maya completed her Northwestern MBA with a focus on corporate social responsibility. She joined First Continental Holdings full-time as Director of Compliance and Community Relations. Her first initiative, the Eleanor Johnson Financial Justice Fellowship. Annual scholarships for students from underrepresented communities pursuing careers in banking and finance. Her second, a national database tracking discrimination complaints across financial institutions, publicly available data that held the entire industry accountable. Maya's approach had proven that individual incidents could drive systematic change when handled strategically. Sarah Chen, the law student who witnessed Maya's bank encounter, graduated and joined the Department of Justice Civil Rights Division. She specialized in financial discrimination cases. Marcus Williams, the respectful security guard, became a regional manager and implemented the Maya Protocol across 12 branches. Even Patricia Wells found purpose in her journey. She became a peer counselor for other employees facing bias allegations, helping them understand the impact of their actions and develop better practices. Maya often reflected on that day in the bank. What if she hadn't had privilege? What if she couldn't make that phone call to the regional director? What if her father wasn't a CEO? That question drove her continued work. Every policy change, every training program, every accountability measure was designed to protect the next young black woman who walked into a bank without connections, without privilege, without a safety net. Maya's story proves that systematic discrimination can be confronted and defeated, but it requires more than outrage. It demands strategic action, sustained pressure, and community support. Have you witnessed discrimination in banking, retail, or other service industries? Document it. Report it. Share it. Have you experienced bias yourself? Your story matters. Your voice can drive change. Are you in a position of corporate leadership? Implement bias training. Create accountability systems. Measure outcomes by demographics. Change happens when individuals refuse to accept discrimination as normal and work systematically to eliminate it. Maya turned 27 minutes of humiliation into a lifetime of advocacy. Her grandmother's inheritance became an investment in justice that continues paying dividends. The work continues. Share this story if it resonated with you. Comment below with your own experiences of discrimination or positive change. Subscribe for more stories of quiet power creating loud impact. Because sometimes the most powerful response to injustice isn't anger. It's systematic action that ensures it never happens again.
Every time someone stands up, speaks out, or refuses to be erased, a new story is born. At Beat Stories, we archive that courage. Subscribe now and help us keep these moments alive, because the more we share them, the harder they are to ignore.